Finesse2Tymes warrant for a stolen rental car. Watch the full video, subscribe to the channel.
I ride good in the motherfucking name. You know what I'm saying? I'm living good in the motherfucking. You see what I'm saying? I'm living good as hell now. You see what I'm saying? I don't live like that no more. So for the people that trying to make it seem like I live a dangerous lifestyle, that's why I live with the white people now. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how I live now, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't do what I used to do. You see what I'm saying? I don't live like I used to live. You see what I'm saying? So get what? The boy around greatness.
Hey, welcome to the channel, man. They getting Finesse2Tymes. They just released a warrant and everything, man. He got into it with the rental car place. He had the rental car for way too long. They told him he was supposed to return it on Tuesday, and he already went a day beyond that. So they had to hit the little button that make the whole car switch off. So he goes outside thinking that everything fine and all that. The people been trying to call him, but they don't know that his phone number changes every week because he's a rapper. He's always going through things and girls trying to get his number and the phones and all that. They got like 4 or 5 phones. So the people turned off the car. He tried to crank it back up. He said it's not working. He get the people to look through it and they pull out the low jack. They pull out the piece in the computer part where it makes it so that the repo man knows where you're at. It makes it so that they can hit the switch to cut off your battery. Once he bypassed that, he got the car back on and they lost track of it. So they thought he took the car and stole it, man. This is another reason why you gotta keep communicate. You can't just be renting the cars out all the time and thinking you could keep it for as long as you want. You know, all these rappers with the Rolls Royces, the Lamborghinis and all of that, these rappers are just renting it from a place downtown. They just going downtown and renting it and then saying it's theirs and driving it around and everything like that because they know that they can't get that stuff in their name with their history and their credit and everything like that. One thing y'all got to realize is that this whole entire time, Finesse2Tymes should have just bought the Tahoe truck outright. He should have just bought the Cadillac truck outright. There's no reason for him to rent it if he's supposedly, like he's saying, he is getting millions and millions of dollars, but you still got to rent out the cars. And, you know, a lot of people say when you traveling city to city, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to rent the cars and everything like that. But he should have had it put in somebody else's name. They should have put the car in the manager's name. So that way the manager, he's going to be always calling the rental place, like communicating with them. Yep, we're going to bring it in right in the morning. If y'all want to check it up, if y'all want to take the waiver off, any of y'all people that's ever rented cars before, you know for a fact that they know where the car is because they got the locators on them. They got the GPS right on it. Plus, they check the car for damage before they give it to you. And if you've had it for a certain amount of days, they ask you to bring it back so that they can release the damage waiver. This is facts. This is one thing that if you really was renting cars out here, you would understand. Where's all the Toro people when you need them? Where's all these dudes who rent them exotic cars like in Miami, an example like that, right? So what y'all got to understand is that Finesse2Tymes, they got into a disagreement with the rental place. He stopped talking to them days ago. This is the reason why they even tried to make it to where he's not allowed to be driving the car around after the certain exact day on the contract that he signed, saying that they were supposed to bring the car back. But you know how rappers are. They want to do everything on their time. They want to seem like the world revolves around them. So he kept it for a few extra days, a few extra hours. He wanted to go here, go there. They don't wake up in the morning. By the time he got up, the rental place already tried to call his phone 20 times and they already sent the dispatch out there to start looking for the car. When they couldn't find the car, they didn't even know that it was in the parking garage the whole time, that the Airbnb Finesse2Tymes and them guy has the parking spaces inside. So if they bring the car in, the repo dude don't even know where it is. So the repo dude was told by the car rental place the last known location that they left it at was by Finesse2Tymes Airbnb. Then when the repo man pull up there, he doesn't see it in the parking lot in the front or nothing. He doesn't see it by the valet. So Finesse2Tymes and them, while they going to get their lunch, they see the tow truck guy and they waving by to him like, you didn't get it. Nope, you're not going to have it. And that's when he thought that they had already took off with it and sent it to a chop shop, or one of their boys had picked it up and tried to run off with it or everything. At that point, they thought it was a hot car. They thought it was a hot car, so they were like, oh no, they're not about to finesse us. Because, you know, there was stories about people who rented a Dodge Charger or Challenger, and it was a rental, but they sold it to somebody for $26,000. And the people thought they were just buying a car off of the actual owner, when in reality, it was a rental. Anybody could go get a rental and finesse somebody into paying them like it's their car. And so this is what they were trying to avoid. They didn't want to have to go through a whole legal process to get the title back and the keys back from two different sets of people, and they sell the car. This is Finesse2Tymes. By the time that the manager at the car rental place looked up Finesse2Tymes, he put it under his own name, Ricky Williams. So when they looked up who he actually was, they realized he's Finesse2Tymes, the rapper. And they're like, oh man, y'all should have called me as soon as you realized it was Finesse2Tymes. The one thing Finesse2Tymes does is in his name, he's gonna finesse. Just like how he finessed the promoter people and actually had his stunt double perform the show. He had his brother, Finesse No Love, perform a concert show in a mask, in a Pusheisty mask with his jewelry on, and they try to pass it off as that was Finesse2Tymes. This is the type of finessing that he does. And another person that's affected, another victim of the Finesse2Tymes finesse game, is the car rental place. And one thing y'all gotta understand is that that's a lot of money on the line. These car rental places, especially the ones that the rappers go to, they're high end. They got nothing but exotic cars, man. Everything is expensive over there. A lot of money, you know, mucho dinero. So by the time that they figure out who it is and the date passes by the return, they're about 24 hours behind schedule before they realize that they're getting played. And so that's why they had to send the repo guy out to knock on Finesse2Tymes' door. He pulled up to his door and banged on the door until he answered. Finesse2Tymes answered in a robe. And the dude said, I need the keys. I'm coming to take this car right now. And the Finesse2Tymes was like, man, you ain't taking nothing. And that's when the repo dude put him in the headlock, switched him to a full Nelson, dragged him out to the curb, and made him present the key fob out. And that's when the little kid who be hanging out with Finesse2Tymes, that's when Lil King came out and he tried to kick the repo dude in the shin like some little rug rat. And they got the repo man. He got up, he got scruffed up by getting kicked in the shin. He gets back up and he's like, I'm gonna get that car one way or another, man. I'll be back, and you better not be here when I'm back. It better be just the car. So he skirt off, and that's when Finesse2Tymes and his people, they weren't playing no games, man. They pulled off, got everything out of that place, checked out of the Airbnb. They seen them in the actual car, driving and leaving. So they still got the car. The rental people still trying to get the car back. Like, is there some way that we could have you drop it off and drop the key off without any type of confrontation? But the fact that they sent the repo man over there, and the repo man, when he caught up with them, he was gonna actually try to pull off with the car while Finesse2Tymes and Lil King was in it. And this is the thing, man. Lil King was yelling at the dude, the repo man. He was telling him that he better, you know how it is, because Finesse2Tymes are trying to keep his composure. He didn't want to tell the repo man any kind of thing that made him fear for his safety or fear for anything, so that he didn't want to give him the opportunity to do anything, because you got to understand where they at. Finesse2Tymes, he be in the South. This whole thing happened somewhere in the South. So that way we know for a fact that it's on edge, it's on site. Like, a lot of people, if this was Texas, they could have just pulled up. And if the repo man started acting crazy, they could have let off. And the repo man, if he seen Finesse2Tymes charging him or one of his homies, or even if Lil King came and kicked him in the shin, he could up the pole and literally spray down or air out the whole block, make them give up them car keys quick. And so this is the things y'all gotta realize, is that Finesse2Tymes is in a sticky situation, and because of all of this, they just got a warrant for him. Man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. And this is a lesson for everybody out there. When you sign a contract with a rental place, a lease place, anything where you put in your signature, make sure you follow the rules and abide by the contract and get the things on the exact days that they're supposed to be dealt with. So that way you don't end up going back and forth with this place, having the repo man pull up on you, put you in a full Nelson, almost WWE slammed you in the sidewalk in front of all the people. And then after that, they get the warrant. So you need to make sure whatever you signing off on and you doing business with a rental place or car place, you make sure you do everything by the book and turn it back in. You could go and turn in the car and then pick it right back up. Same thing, like one day. Do all that so you don't end up having the laws and the feds coming after you like they doing to Finesse2Tymes. They really trying to lock up Finesse2Tymes all over this. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Finesse2Tymes should have actually tried to work things out with the place before they called the 12 on him? Or do you think this is what he deserves, what he gets? You know, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Let me know what y'all think.